Let's talk about quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting.
Doing your job no more and no less.
Trading your A game for your B game.
I'm just acting my wage.
That's just working. That's work. You realize that's work.
For those of you who are unfamiliar, the term refers to the idea of remaining in one's workplace while not actively going above and beyond. It is an employer's dream. Now, this is happening in over 50% of the US workforce, so the question is, why? Why now?
I am not going to fucking kill myself over a job that doesn't care about me as a human being.
My generation is not working less hard than you are. My generation has to work harder than you did to achieve the same things you achieved.
500 calls. We're doing 50. We're doing 50.
You've got two sides of the movement here, right? First is the quiet quitters. These are the workers that are just done with the bullshit, right? They feel like they're being taken advantage of. They feel like they're being overworked and underpaid. They've just had it. They said, fuck this, I'm gonna put me first, and they're still gonna do their job, right? They'll still come in at 9 and leave at 5. But if you try calling them at 5:01, whew, good luck. Then on the other side of this whole thing, you've got the employers, right? The quiet quitties.
Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, we did whatever it took. You get out what you put in.
If you're a quiet quitter, you're a loser.
You have to understand that life isn't fair. It's a game. There's winners and there's losers.
And the employers are looking at this whole thing and they just feel like these people are being lazy, they're acting entitled, they have a bad attitude, and they should just be a team player. So the question is, who's right? But before we can really answer that, let's first understand how we even got to this point. Alright, so the year is 1775, and King George III of England is just being a massive asshole, right? Buddy is charging taxes up the ass, and the people are not getting shit in return. That's how we came up with the term, no taxation without representation. So George Washington and the boys are pissed. They start beefing with King George. France and Spain come in to back them up. Boom! We got America. America! Yeehaw! Now, I know I kind of dumbed that down a bit, but what I want you to understand from this story is that capitalism wasn't just born as a theory, it was born out of necessity. These people didn't want their fate decided by a king or their government. They wanted it to be decided by nature, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And so that's exactly what they created. America was founded as the first country to allow its people a shot to make it to the top through merit. It is a country built on freedom and powered by competition. And that's why it's the quiet quitters who I believe are on the wrong side of this issue. Over the last 350 years, companies have come and gone. The radio destroyed the record player, the TV destroyed the radio, and now YouTube is destroying the TV. And at their peak, all the companies who made those products I just mentioned, they were quiet quitting too. They all thought that they could just do the minimum, right? Everyone listens to the radio, no one's ever gonna stop listening to the radio, we're the shit. And they got fucked because they didn't understand that they were living in a brutally competitive ecosystem where they had to earn their position each and every day. And if you're a quiet quitter, the same exact thing goes for you. Whether you know it or not, you're competing in a game, and the consequences of failure are very, very real. Look, Alex Hormozy defines leverage as the difference between inputs and outputs in a system. So an example of low leverage would mean maybe I'm a salesperson and my closing rate is 10% higher this year than last year. I go from making $50,000 to now $55,000. But high leverage would mean maybe I go to my boss who's doing $30 million a year and I show them my system that I use to close 10% more deals than I did last year. And when they implement it, they go from making $30 million to $33 million. I just added $3 million in revenue instead of $5,000. How much more do you think I could charge for that? That's high leverage. Same input, higher output. The reason I'm telling you this is because most of you quiet quitters are in low leverage opportunities. You sell X amount of time for X amount of dollars and you pretty much get the same amount of stuff done in that allotted time. You're negotiating from a place of weakness. So you've got two options, and they're both bad, by the way. You can either bite the bullet and work hard to make yourself a stronger, smarter, and more capable employee so that you can get more value out of the same amount of time, which will then increase your value in the workforce and provide you with more options and therefore more leverage to negotiate. Or you can keep watching TikToks at work every day and the quiet quitting movement will inevitably end in joblessness, poverty, and more blue-collar workers resenting wealthy people and getting mad at them because they're poor. I hope that cold foam latte tastes good, Vanessa. Make sure to subscribe, everybody. Love you. Peace.